Everybody, what's up? Going live here from Michigan. You guys, literally, I was in California yesterday and now Michigan the same day. So I left from Michigan, went to Cali, went back to Michigan the same day. Flight took off at 6 a.m. and I came home at 11 p.m. Busy day, 10 hours in the air, 4 hours in the car, but I'm back in a flash. All right, guys, so I'm gonna get this going. I was going to talk about this last week, and then I had a family emergency, had to get to California for, but I'm going to bring it to you guys today. So if you've ever seen me live, speaking live, like you've been to one of our events or whatever, you have maybe heard a little bit of this. I don't expand on it when I'm on stage. I only I end with this, and then I kind of leave everybody hanging. So I want to talk about this today because I think it's so important. And before I kind of go right into it, I just want to kind of reframe things so that you guys kind of understand where we're coming from. So the number one reason why people fail. So it's interesting because people in network marketing, like let's just talk about our industry for a minute. You know, people are like, oh, only the people at the top succeed, or only the 1%, or whatever, right? But the truth is it's that way in every single industry. Every single industry. Now, anybody can be average. Anybody can strive for a comfortable life, right? Anybody can, get a job, work their way up or not, and just, stay stagnant, whatever, their whole life. And, only the top make it, right? And there's something different about the people that really make it. I'm talking about get to the top of a compensation plan, get to the top of a company, or get to the top of the corporate ladder or whatever. There's something different about these people than everybody else. And of course, its mindset has a lot to do with it. But what particularly propels these people to succeed? So this is what we're going to talk about today. So the number one reason why people fail is lack of persistence. When the going gets tough, the people get going, right? I mean, anytime you are upfront with a challenge in your life, you have two options. You can either tap in or you can tap out. And the reason people fail is because they tap out. It's one way or the other. They call it quits. They say they have enough. And what's interesting about that is because success always happens one step beyond where you feel absolutely defeated. When you're like, you know what, like maybe I don't want this anymore. Maybe my goal isn't worth it. Maybe it's just not for me. Why can't I just be happy with less? You know what I'm saying? Like we start talking ourselves out of it. But it's just one step beyond that is when you become successful. Because I remember before I became successful for the first time, I was down, I was out, I was broken. I resented success at the time. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I love it. And I'm just going to tap into that. And I'm going to forget about everything else. I'm going to stop like trying so hard to be successful. I tried everything. You guys, if you ever went to my GoDaddy account, you'll see thousands of domain names, so many business ideas, so many things that have failed in my life. Like literally, like it wasn't like, oh, HempWorks and then ta-da, like no, like I had so many brands before HempWorks. I had so many failures before HempWorks. I had so many trials before that, and it got to the point where I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna do what I want. I'm gonna just follow my passion, and if I stay broke my whole life, at least I'll be happy doing what I love. And I got to that point, but I kept going forward because you know what freaked me out more than anything is thinking about going backwards. That freaks me out way more than pushing forward, pushing through the discomfort. So here's the deal, you guys. We live in an instant society. We have instant rice, we got instant oatmeal, we got instant this, we got fast food. Like nobody has patience for shit anymore. Like seriously, like even if you look at the videos, we have Facebook Live, but that's not good enough, right? We need to have Reels now because attention span is like 5 seconds. So the people don't stay on your live, they don't stay on your videos if it's long. Because their attention span, their instant society. Give me all the nuts and bolts. Give me all the wisdom that you've collected over 20 years of time and put it into 30 seconds. No, we live in an instant society, and this is a problem because this is a conditioning. We've been conditioned to get information. Everything has to be fast, and if it's not, we're uncomfortable with patience. You guys, I was at the LA airport yesterday, and there was a child, probably 3 years old or something. absolutely losing their mind in the stroller, like crying, and I'm like, oh, gosh, just like when I see the kid crying, like it takes all my willpower to not go rescue them. It's funny because if it's my kid, I'm like, knock it off, But if somebody else is, I'm like, come here, let me help you, I guess, because I know when my kids are full of it or not. But you're looking at these parents, and these parents are completely ignoring the kid. Like, I'm not going to ignore my kid, like I'm going to address it, but they're just completely ignoring their kid. And then what do you see next? They give them a phone, they put a phone in their face, and they're like trying to mitigate this child's problem with a freaking device. Like, we live in such an instant popcorn society now that we can't even deal with parenting. Like, we just problem solved. Like, come on, no. So we're conditioned by this. Like, this is our conditioning. And then we're also conditioned to go after what's comfortable. Think about it. Our whole reason why we want to get a job is because we just want to get our bills paid. And then after we get our bills paid, we want to start stockpiling. We want to start, setting some aside for our 401k. And then one day, 50 years later, hopefully we can retire and have a comfortable life. Like, tell me that's not everybody's goal on the planet. Why are we conditioned to go after comfort? Like, this is a problem. This is a major problem. We should not be conditioned for comfort. Because here's the deal. The third law of the universe, I know you guys heard me say it before, I'm going to say it a different way. The third law in the universe is the law of vibration. What does that mean? It means everything is moving. It means everything is, nothing is at rest. So why do you think you can be at rest? Why do you think that you can be comfortable? There's no chance in hell you're going to be comfortable. If you have been comfortable for a while, guess what? Something's coming to shake you up. So here's the deal. You can either intentionally grow, or you can be forced to grow. There's one way or the other. You're comfortable eating Cheetos, Doritos, Matrix food like every single day of your life, and you get cancer. Then what? You're uncomfortable now, right? Now you're uncomfortable, so now you have to do something about it. But if you just took the time to do the hard work now, maybe you would have never got that to begin with. Maybe your health would be in check now. There's prevention, and then there's proaction, and then there's reaction. And so we should be very uncomfortable anytime we are comfortable. We should be uncomfortable every time we're comfortable. Because here's the deal. People fail in network marketing. They fail in their jobs. They fail everywhere in life because they want to be comfortable. Because they have lack of persistence. And here's the deal. You can't become a top anything on the planet if you haven't pushed beyond that feeling of I'm done being comfortable. Like, you can't get there unless you go through it. You cannot get to, you guys, you have to have the discipline to keep pushing forward. So I'm going to give you guys the hack. All right, the hack. Now, my last post, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but just a recap really quickly. So when I was working with Bob Proctor, I asked him, and he said nobody's ever asked him this before, which I think is bizarre. But I asked him, I said, what are you studying, Bob? Like, I already know you're reading Think and Grow Rich. We know that. We've heard that a million times. But what are you studying right now? Like, what are you reading right now? Besides Think and Grow Rich, what are you studying? He said, I'm reading Troward. He's like, it's very deep stuff. It's very complicated material. He's like, you can go through it one line a day. Like, literally very dense, complicated things to wrap your head around. They're not really complicated, but almost just so mind-blowing that it paralyzes you every sentence that you read. So I'm like, I'm going to start studying that guy. Like, I'm going to start studying Judge Troward. Now, this is back in like early 1900s. Like, this is old stuff, yet it stands the test of time to this day. So this guy starts talking about what's the difference between your conscious and subconscious mind. We talk about that a lot, but we've never really talked about how it relates to your actual body. Like, within the cerebrospinal system is the organ of the conscious mind. So what it's responsible for is, these are the senses, the things that hook you up to the outside world. If you didn't have this system, you would not be able to perceive the world at all. You wouldn't have touch, you wouldn't have sight, you wouldn't be able to hear, you wouldn't have all these things, right? You literally, if without your senses, where are you? Think about that for a minute. Everything's dark, you can't hear, you can't perceive, you can't feel, you can't nothing. Where are you, right? Without your senses. So that's what that system is it taps you into your external world, okay? Your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is also the guardsman, right? It's the guard at the gates. It's because whatever you impress onto the subconscious, which is the sympathetic nervous system, The sympathetic system. Sympathetic, what does that even mean? Sympathetic, it's like, for instance, the reason why we're supposed to pray before we eat is because we're supposed to be in a relaxed state before we consume our food. It isn't just a gratitude thing, although gratitude cooks you up with the infinite, but it's about relaxing. Your sympathetic system must be at a relaxed state, okay? So your subconscious mind, whatever is going on in your conscious mind that you allow to be impressed in your subconscious is what you're bringing about, right? So he's talking about this and talking about the sympathetic system in its center has a ganglionic mass in the back of the stomach known as the solar plexus. We don't talk about that enough, and I'm going to get back to persistence in a minute, but I want you guys to reframe this because you need to know why you are the way you are, okay? Because if you don't understand why you are the way you are, you're going to always be at war with yourself, okay? And this is the channel, that mental action, which unconsciously supports the whole body and being. When I got diagnosed with celiac disease, about a few months later, I went to an energy healer. And at the time, I was like, this is stupid, but I'm going to just do it and just see what happens. And she's like, I didn't tell her what my medical problems were at the time. But she just told me, she's like, your solar plexus is blocked, this center within you. And now this center, solar, like, think about it like the sun, okay? This is your source of all your energy. And so if this is blocked within you, your subconscious is literally like stuck, okay? Because you're stuck in your old programming, then you're not going to be able to shine your light. You're not going to be able to be in the flow. You're not going to be able to let this energy move through you and externally out into your world. So the reason why people fail is because they're programmed to live instant and comfortable. We're programmed that way. So we have to challenge ourselves, to condition ourselves to embrace the suck, embrace discomfort, embrace patience, embrace the process. Just keep showing up like every single day, because you know if you show up every single day, you develop new habits, success is guaranteed. Success is guaranteed. It's not for just a special select few. It's not for just people that, magically built a massive network and they got lucky and all this. No, it's for people that have developed the habit of showing up. There's some girls at the gym. Whitney Wheeler, she's gonna respect this. These people at the gym are massive. I'm talking 400-500 pounds. But you know what? They're at the gym. They don't have the results yet, but they are showing up. And if they keep showing up, even if they just do a little bit every single day, the compound effect, eventually their success is guaranteed. Your success is guaranteed, but you have to keep showing up. You have to keep challenging yourself. You have to look for challenges. You have to look for weakness within. You have to look at yourself and say, you know what? This is not good within me because this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm acting. This is what I'm doing. Here's the thing. Your subconscious is responsible for your unconscious actions. Your subconscious is what you're doing unconsciously. You're not thinking about it. It's automatic. It's a habit. It's an automatic habit, right? And so if you have shitty habits, guess what? You're going to have shitty results. So the secret is how do you move into your routine every day? And are you a victim to your mental programming? Do you hear the voice in your head? There's no point in doing it. Look, every single morning when I drive to the gym, I think about pancakes. You know what? Something's gone wrong with my GPS. I pull up into the gym parking lot, and then my GPS says, "Oh, Anna's house." This is like a restaurant that we go to. And it's like, oh, Anna's house is not too far. And I'm like, is this like a test or something? Like I can go get waffles or I can go to the gym. So it's a discipline. It's a discipline. It's a daily discipline. It's giving yourself a command and following it, whether you feel like it or not. Because guess what? You're not going to feel like it until you build the habit. Once you build the habit, then it makes more sense and then it's easier. So here's the deal. You can have you guys ever met a spoiled, rotten person before? Have you ever met somebody that did not have a lot of struggles growing up in their life? Have you ever met somebody that's like, oh my God, like I broke a nail today and like that was the end of the world? Like, have you met people that have no problems and you're like, what is your problem? Like, why do you think about your problems like this? Like, I can't stand this because they have no perspective. So here's the deal. The people that didn't have struggles early on in their life are going to have a whole lot of struggles later in life. Like there's no way to like get around it. There's no way to always have it easy. There's no way to ever have it easy. Like it's going to be hard at some point in time. It's going to manifest differently because guess what? We are all here, Earth School. We're all here to learn lessons. There's no going around the lessons. There's no avoiding the lessons. You see these MLM hoppers. Let's talk about that for a minute. Put me on a soapbox. Okay, you see these MLM hoppers out there. They go from company to company to company because they only rise to this level of leadership, and then this is where their confidence breaks. This is where they stop developing themselves. This is where they decide that it's better, it's easier to abandon ship. It's easier to abandon their team. It's easier to quit than it is to move forward. It's easier to look like a success than actually be a success. So if you can hop around from company to company and have hype momentum and have this pretend shit flying around the internet, okay, first of all, number one, people see through that. Number two, you're gonna have to learn the damn lesson one way or the other. Like eventually the universe is gonna flatten your ass out until you decide you're gonna push through that struggle. At some point you're gonna have to go through it. So there's no way around it, right? So here's the secret. Out of the entire book, I've learned so much in this book. However, this is the secret out of the entire book. Okay? And if you get nothing else out of it, this is what you have to learn. And I want you to write this down. I want you to remember this. I want you to put it somewhere front and center, because if you do these 4 things, and I'm not saying you do them once, I'm saying you do them every single day. You push through every single day. You develop this into a habit. Because people think, oh, you're just a persistent type of person. No, BS. First of all of our personalities can change like that. You can decide to be a different person in 15 minutes. You do not have to be married to your limitations. You do not have to be married to who people said you were. You know, my family came to visit, and I was like triggered by like the programming they tried to put upon me. I heard my mom say, she's like, oh yeah, she's just not good at math. She's not good at cooking. I'm like, first of all, like I'm a good ass cook now. And second of all, who said I'm not good at math? Like, why did you put that on me like early on in my life to tell me I can't do math? Like, anyway, like that's your own bullshit. Like, don't put that on me. Like, I have rise above that 10 times beyond that now. And you know what's funny? I used to get made fun of in my family because I couldn't make mac and cheese. I was 17. I was one of them spoiled kids, I guess. I cooked for everybody. So here's the deal. Here's the 4 keys to freedom. This is the 4 keys to freedom that will set you free. This is going to lead to the mastery of fear, discouragement, and indifference. How many of you guys are just not fired up no matter what you do? Some of y'all are in a perfect ass company and you're still not fired up. Why? Like, if you can sell one thing, you can sell a million things. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what the vehicle is. It doesn't matter what company you're in. It doesn't matter what team you're on. It doesn't matter what your upline's doing. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about you for a minute. You want to have success, guess what? Nobody's coming to save you. You got to save your damn self. So here's the 4 keys that you have to build into a habit. What does that mean? It means you do it every single day. You show up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. You tell your emotions to shut up. You tell your thoughts to shut up. You tell everything to shut up. You tell your negative ass people to shut up, and you just move forward, and that's it, right? So here's the deal. There's 4 things that will set you free. Number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire. A definite purpose backed by a burning desire. How many of you guys have no burning desire? The reason you don't have a burning desire is because you refuse to believe that you can have what you want. That's it. The only reason why you haven't gone after what you want is because you are lying to yourself about the fact that you can't get it. So if you would just stop lying to yourself, because here's the deal. You're an infinite human being with infinite potential, right? The soul within you is connected to the infinite source of all. God said he made us in his image. If we're here to do God's work and God's a creator, then why are we not out there creating? Why are we out there subconsciously repeating programs from our matrix society that teaches us that instant's good and comfort's fine? No, like, we are infinite human beings within us. Within us, we have all the source of all the energy of the entire universe. So if you don't know how to tap into that, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be like a leaf blowing in the wind. You're going to be on the wrong damn side of the river of poverty, the river of despair, the river of fear. You're going to be in the river of indifference. I just can't get excited no matter what I do. You're too damn comfortable. Get uncomfortable. If you're indifferent, you're comfortable. Because guess what? If you've ever lost your house before, if you've ever lost your car before, you know what it's like to be shaken to the point of discomfort. And guess what? In those times, you figure out who you really are. And guess what? In those times, that's when leaders are made. Because nobody gives a shit if you can sail a boat in calm water. Would you ever follow a leader that can say, I can sail across the 7 seas if the sun is shining and there's no damn waves? Come on. If you're going to be a leader in any field, in any industry, guess what? Get ready for the storm, because you cannot get to the top of anything unless you learn how to sail in the craziest storms. You better learn how to get in and out of a tornado in one piece, because once you conquer that, then you can teach everybody else and you can bring them out of their own storm. You can't get to that level if you don't embrace it. So embrace the suck, because there's two sides of everything, and you know that everything is for you. You live in an infinite loving universe, and guess what? Everything's for you. You got to sharpen the iron, right? So that's it. So that's number one. You have to have you got to have a definite purpose backed by a burning desire. So here's where most people stop. They go, I don't know my purpose. I don't know my purpose. I don't have a desire. Okay, lack of desire is because you have no goal. You have no worthy goal. You don't have a C-type goal. If you have a C-type goal, your C-type goal is you want to change the world, or you whatever. It has to be massive. It has to be big enough that it's exciting, and also big enough that you feel like there's no possible way you could do it. That's the right goal. That's how you build a bigger fire within yourself. Here's the deal: is energy is transferable. It doesn't matter what company you're in. Doesn't matter anything. None of that matters. Those are all just variables. The one constant that you can control is you. No matter what is happening all around you, the only thing you can control is you and your point of attraction. All right? So a definite purpose. A definite purpose. What is a definite purpose? Well, you don't have to say my definite purpose is whatever. It's within you. Like whatever is within you. You know, everybody has their own gifts. Everybody comes alive. Everybody gets into the zone in one way or another. It could be basket weaving. It could be makeup artistry. It could be playing the piano. It could be leadership. It could be trying to save people, right? It could be humanitarian. It could be all kinds of things. You all have a designed purpose within you. You have to tap into that, but you have to be willing to trust your intuition and tap into that. You got to be willing to go beyond the veil. You got to be willing to do what's abnormal, right? To tap into that higher purpose. Number 2 is you need a definite plan. A plan. Like an actual blueprint for how you're going to do it. Because here's where people get stuck. They go, I want to make $100,000 a month, and I'm going to do that within 90 days, and I'm just going to ask, believe, receive. And then they just repeated whatever. They don't know. There's no plan. You have to have a plan. If you're going to be a leader in anything, you have to have a plan. So guess what? If you're in a network marketing company right now, this is very simple. Guess what? You have a compensation plan. There's your plan right there. So look at the compensation plan, study it. Look, what do I have to do to hit my income goal? My Daily Choice does something very simple. You can go to the footer of our website, scroll to the bottom, click income disclosure statement, pick out your dream income, and then figure out what rank you have to hit. What rank do you have to hit? Well, divide by how many orders you need to get the volume you need to level up and rank up in your company. That's it, right? Like, that's a definite plan. If I know that I am okay at sales, and if I call 10 people, I'll close 5, okay, then how many hundreds of people do I have to contact in order to reach my goal income? Like, it's just simple math. That's a definite plan. If you're not breaking apart your plan into these little actions that you're going to do every single day, then you're not going to get to your goal. It doesn't matter how much you believe it, because guess what? God helps those who help themselves. You have to take action. If you don't ever take the action and you're just up here in the intellect, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen at all. So that's number 2. Number 3, this is a big one. Number 3, a mind closed tightly. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. That means from yourself and from others. From yourself is a big one. Our self-talk is a big negative a-hole that's within our head sometimes, that's telling us we can't do it because we're hearing the repetition of our old programming. we have to close our mind to that negative roommate within. We have to close our mind to the negative roommate within our house and within our team and with, the chatter from other leaders and, who's doing what, who's going where. Tune all of that out, right? And keep your mind closed tightly. Like, all you need to know is, here's my goal, here's how I'm going to do it. Anything that's not it, discard. If it's not in alignment with where I'm going, it's not for me in this season. Be okay with that. Be okay with shedding some relationships behind. And you say, listen, I love you. You're my friend, and you're hilarious, and you make me laugh. Even your negative jokes are funny. However, in this season in my life, it's conquer season, and I can't afford to not even divert, not to, nothing. I can't get any of my energy over there right now. I'm not going to put my energy into fear and anxiety. I'm not going to put my energy into the news. I'm not going to put my energy into what Trump's doing or what Biden's doing. I'm not going to put my energy into who's going to this company or who's doing this. I'm not going to put my energy into, he said, she said, whatever. In this season of my life, I have to stay focused. I have to stay focused. I have to have my blinders on. I have no room for distractions at this point in my time because I'm early on in conquering my goals, and I have to be so focused and trained that I'm not going to see anything else, and that's that. So that's number 3. Number 4, and this is a big one, so hear me out. A friendly alliance. So now that you've decided what we're cutting out, now we got to decide what we're going to cut in. You need a friendly alliance with one. It could be just one person. Accountability, one person. With one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. That means you want to surround yourself with people that are going to pump you up. You want to surround yourself with people that are going to fire you up. You want to surround yourself with people that believe in your goals and dreams. You want to surround yourself with people that aren't going to make fun of it. You want to surround yourself with people that are cheering you on. Go get you some cheerleaders, okay? And if that's not your current team you're on, you don't have to leave your team. But you got to be your own upline and build the team that you want to be surrounded by. I had a negative upline early on in this business. I had a cross-recruiting upline early on in this business. I had somebody that was trying to tear apart my check from the inside out. I had to rebuild my team at least 6 times in this company over the last 9 years. But I had to build my own friendly alliance with people that were going on the same path as me. I look at it like a train, right? Like my train is moving forward. You can either sit on the sidelines and watch the train go by, or you can get on. You can get on the train, you can go with me. If it's not for you, no problem. I'm not waiting. I'm on my way. So are you in? Yes. Are you out? No. Like Candace says, tell me yes, tell me no, tell me soon, I gotta go. That's it. And you gotta be so disciplined in that respect that we are not letting nobody drag us down. We're not going to let anybody slow us down. You guys ever been late to an airline flight before? Did they say oh, hold on, Jenna's on her way. Open the gate, open the door, let her in. No, especially not American Airlines. They'll just leave your ass. They don't care. Oh, 30 seconds late, goodbye. They shut the door, that's it. See ya, get the next flight. We have to be that disciplined in our business, right? So pretend you're American Airlines or whatever, business. Are you coming on this flight or not? If you're not prepared to be here on time, if you're not prepared to get to the destination with us, then you're going to have to get on the next flight. Because I have to move with a sense of urgency. You guys, I just saw somebody who is days away from death. Days away from absolutely perishing from this planet. Skeleton, nothing left. Cancer has completely obliterated her entire body. And, it made me think. She has young kids, my sister-in-law. Young kids, my brother is going to be left to raise these children himself. He has 3 kids. And, all I could think about is, you don't know when your last day is. You have no idea when time's up. You have no idea when the expiration is on your life. You don't know if you're going to get in a car accident tomorrow and it's over. You don't know when you're going to get diagnosed with something that you get stuck with. That's another topic. We're going to get into that another time. However, you don't know when your last day is. So if you keep putting your dreams, your goals, and the things you were meant to do on this planet, guess what? One day you're going to sit on your deathbed and you're going to think, why the hell was I so worried about the criticism of other people? Why was I so worried about how crazy I was going to look for pursuing my dreams? Why did I waste any of my energy on that or trying to fit in with everybody else? Why did I do that? It's not going to be like, oh man, I wish I got, more Botox. Damn, I wish I got, more shit to fit in. I wish I got more, like, I don't know. I wish I got more Bentleys in my garage so I could look like a freaking baller. Like, no, like, those are not the things you're going to be thinking about at the end of your life. At the end of your life, you're going to be thinking about what impact did you have and what is your legacy. Because guess what? If you don't leave a legacy, the moment that we forget you, your legacy is over. So if you don't take the time to really stay focused on what it is you are meant to do here, and you put the blinders on and you build the habit of persistence. Persistence is a mindset. That's all it is. You guys, today I was in the gym and I added more weight to the bar. First of all, the reason I started doing this kind of training, it's called an alpha class, a Lifetime Fitness. It's similar to CrossFit. The reason I started doing this is because I wanted to do hard shit every day. I wanted to wake up every single morning and do something hard. I wanted to do something uncomfortable every single day. If you show up every day and you do something uncomfortable, you're like already a warrior for the rest of the day, right? So I added more weight to my bar today than I had last week. Okay, I added more weight, and it wasn't a lot. It was just a little bit more. It was like 7.5 pounds more on each side. That was it. And in my mind, I thought, this is harder. This is heavier. This is more than it was last week. And I did one. And then I tried to go for another one, and my arms were jelly. And I said, well, it's just too much weight. That's why I can't lift it. It's just too much. That was my first mindset. And then I said, tell yourself it's the same. Tell yourself it's the same hard as it was last week. Tell yourself it's the same weight as last week. So then I told myself it's exactly the same. It's the same as less weight. It's the same. And then I lifted up the bar like it was nothing. And so your mindset is so, so important. It's the difference between the people that quit. It's the difference between the people that get defeated and the people that go on. And so I wanted to leave this with you today, not because of any other reason other than this is the most important lesson that you have to learn to conquer literally anything that you want to conquer in your life. So I want to challenge you guys to get really serious about your goals. Get really serious about what it is you're meant here to do. Stick with it. Build an actual plan. Follow the plan. It's going to suck some days. Like some days you're going to feel like absolute trash. And just know that, right? There's going to be discipline days where you're going to have to force yourself to get into action when you really don't want to do it. Like everything is screaming in you to quit, and that's your old conditioning, and you have to say, I am shedding that version of me. I will no longer be that version of me. I will no longer be the weak version of me. I'm going to show up every single day, and eventually my success will come. So thank you guys for hopping on today. That's what I got for you, and I will see you on our next call. Bye, guys.